Hello! So, it is that great time of the month that didn't come out how I wanted it to. It is that great time of times that is the time for a wrap-up. Yes, I hate intros. They're so awkward. Because I didn't do a wrap-up in April, I'm going to just add that wrap-up to this one. So it's going to be like a 2-month deal. 2 for 1. You see, yeah. A+. The only problem with this A+ work is the fact that I don't remember everything that I read in April. I know what I did definitely read, but then I don't remember if there's some books, did I read them in April? Did I read them a little before April? So this is what I know I read in April, give or take some. Okay, yeah, let's jump right into April and what I read then. I definitely don't remember the order I read these in, so whatever. First I have Stolen by Lucy Christopher. I really enjoyed this book. I did actually film a review on it, but I didn't like how it turned out. I really didn't like how I was describing it, and I didn't like how the video looked, and technical difficulties. I might still film a review on it because I did really enjoy this book and I thought it was super interesting. Just the concept and the characters and the plot and everything I thought was really unique and interesting. So I might film a review on it, I might not, I don't know yet. This book basically follows a girl named Gemma, and she gets abducted and taken into the middle of the desert by this guy named Ty. And Ty is in love with her and he kind of just expects her to be in love with him too. But she was just abducted by him, so she kind of just hates him. This book is really just about her trying not to give up hope whilst in the middle of the desert. Her going through all these phases of denial and hope and the losing of hope, and just, it's really just spot on how she feels. When I felt scared, she felt scared. When I was like, you know, if I were in that situation, I'd be so depressed. She was getting really depressed. I just thought that was really spot on with it. I definitely did have to be in the mood for this, and I'm glad I was because it is super serious and just super scary, honestly. I got scared reading this. It's just so real. Like, I could imagine this happening to an extent that it was scary. As far as the book itself goes, it is fairly short. It's only like 200-something pages, so I flew through it in about a day. And that's another thing I liked about it. I felt that the experience was just all short and sweet. Not really sweet, it's kind of really scary. I do definitely recommend it. I just think it's a good thing to read and to know about and to just have addressed, I think. I really enjoyed it, personally. I love books so much, but I'm so bad at talking about them. Next I have Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. I actually filmed a review for this one too. I don't remember why I deleted it, but there must have been, oh, I remember why. I just sounded like a huge imbecile when I was talking. I did not sound like I knew. What's that noise? I did not sound even fairly sure what I was talking about at all, so I just couldn't follow through with editing it. It just made me cringe so much. Really liked this book. I thought it was a really good debut novel. I thought it was super interesting. It kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I fell in love with the characters. Well, there was a ship, but I didn't fall in love with the characters to the extent that I cared where the ship went. Like, there was the love triangle. I love if I just outlined a triangle. But I didn't care where the love triangle went, honestly. Like, she was going from one guy to the next, like a normal love triangle, and I didn't really care. I didn't have, like, anxiety or hope or anything when it came to the love triangle. I mean, it definitely made things interesting, but I personally was not very involved, I guess you could say. Other than that, I really liked it. I loved the characters, I loved the plot, I loved the world. It did take me quite a while, actually, to get used to the world. I didn't really understand what it was. This, wherever it is, map, in the beginning, definitely, like, without the map, I would be so lost because the explanation of the world wasn't to the extent that I think it could have been to just make it a little bit easier on the reader. I can't really explain the book because I can't explain it without explaining the world, and I'm not very good at explaining fantasy worlds, especially this one. It's a bit more complicated. 16 years ago, the Kingdom of Winter was conquered and its citizens enslaved, leaving them without magic or a monarch. Now the Winterman's only hope for freedom is the I can't read. Is the 8 survivors who managed to escape and who have been waiting for the opportunity to steal back Winter's magic and rebuild the kingdom ever since. That's basically what it's about. It's about a girl named Mira and her journey through it. It's really good. I'm really happy I read it. I'm so excited for the sequel. So excited for the sequel. I really, really, really liked this book, and I thought it was a great dating novel. But I'm a sucker for dim fantasies, so what are you gonna do? I have 2 books next, but I'm saying them together because the one is downstairs and I don't feel like going down to get it. That is Sage and Storm and Rune and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Yay! It took me so long to read this series. I really, really liked this series. It's the Shadow and Bone series, and I really liked it. It just, I don't know. It wasn't even slow at times. I just still didn't get through it quickly. This is probably one of the only fantasies that I didn't read quickly, that didn't fully have my attention, that I didn't really care what the characters did. That's a lie. It didn't fully have my attention, but the shippage in this, I was very strongly against one and very for the other one. So I'm not going to say what these 2 are about because it ruins the first book. And I finally finished them in April, so it was a good month. Next, I have a book that I am so happy I read. I'm so happy I read this, and I loved it. I'm definitely going to read it again just because I really loved it. That is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's not a surprise I loved it. I mean, it did get famous for a reason. If you haven't heard of To Kill a Mockingbird, then who are you? I loved it. I loved everyone. I loved Scout, and I loved Jem, and I loved Atticus, and Boo Radley, and I finally understand Boo Radley because in the Beautiful Creature series, the dog's name is Boo Radley, and I was like, why would they name a dog Boo Radley? Like, I want to name a dog Boo Radley now. I loved it. I loved this book. I loved Scout, and I loved her independence at such an early age, and not even that, but just her, like, she was so strong-willed, and she cared so strongly about so many things, and I loved Jem. I loved Jem, and I loved Atticus, and it was just a great book. I'm actually excited because next year we have to read it for school, and I'm really excited to actually discuss it and have like a led discussion. My local Barnes & Noble was actually having a discussion a few weeks ago, and I was so excited for it, and then I forgot to go. Same thing happened when Jennifer E. Smith came for a signing. Very rarely do we get these kind of events, like Jennifer E. Smith, To Kill a Mockingbird discussions. And I write them on my calendar and then I forget they exist, and oh my god. And finally, my babe, I named my lizard after him. The Bane Chronicles, featuring Magnus Bane by Cassandra Clare. I used to be able to do this. Let me just look at the last names. Sarah Reese Brennan, Marie Johnson. Just looked at the last names. Not technically cheating. This hunk of a book gave me so many emotions. Oh my god. If you didn't know what it's about, it follows Magnus Bane and all of his great adventures. Not even all of them, just some of his great adventures. And oh my god. There were times when I had to just stop. I had to put the book down and just sit in silence because the emotions that were coursing through me were insane. Like just there were, oh my god, there were Will and Tessa moments, there were Alec moments, there was Clary baby moments, it was so good. Only Cassandra Clare could do this to me, wow. And learning everyone's backstory and then knowing that they die, or not all of them, but knowing some people die and knowing who those people are, not having their backstories, and knowing they die in like the books to come, like City of Heavenly Fire and stuff, and just like, I'm rambling, but this book, I just, read it all at once if you want just a tsunami of emotions. After reading this, I just wanted a whole book of just Malik moments. I want a whole book of every moment Malik has ever had together, like everything. I want to know how many breaths Alec took one night. I don't know how many breaths Magnus took one night. Like, I want the grimy details after reading this because there's just everything is so huge. This book, oh my god. Now going into the calmer section of reading. We're going to go into May. it today? It's May something, isn't it? I don't really remember. It's May 28th. I read 5 books in May. Or 6, actually. Where's the book I'm reading right now? Because I'm going to finish it today. So let's just get on with it, shall we? First here, I have Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. Speaking of Jennifer E. Smith, I was really in the mood for just a cutesy contemporary, and my favorite author for cutesy contemporaries is actually Jennifer E. Smith. I've only read 2 of her 3 books, and I've loved both of them. This Is What Happy Looks Like, and this one, and just I love it. I love it. It makes me so happy. It takes place over the course of 48 hours, I think. 24 hours. So it takes place in a day. It's about a girl named Hadley, which, first of all, that name is like awesome. I love the name Hadley. And she meets a boy named Oliver in an airport, and basically they get to know each other. And Hadley's having a really hard time with her parents, and her dad is marrying someone that she's never met. And that's actually where she's going right now, to the wedding, to this woman that she's never met. And she meets Oliver, and it's just great, and I want an Oliver so bad. Yeah, so my camera died, and it's been about 2 hours since the last clip. I don't really know what I finished. Talked about Jennifer E. Smith's, right? Yeah. Next here we have a book that I have been dying to read. Wow, oh my god. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I've wanted to read this for a really long time, and I finally did, and I'm really, really glad that I did. I actually wanted the original cover. I wasn't even expecting to find this in Barnes & Noble, but I decided that this was better than nothing, and I'd actually never seen the original one up close, but I just wanted the original. But after a few days of reading this, I now like this cover even better than the original one. It's just bright and simple, but it goes with the book perfectly, and it's just, I love it. This was not at all what I was expecting it to be like. It was very informal. It was just so funny. I found myself laughing out loud. Like, I think this is the first book that's ever made me laugh out loud. Just like tear up because I was laughing so much. Maybe I was in the right mood for it. Maybe it was just super funny. I don't know. But it's the only book about death that made me laugh. And it literally says on the back, it says somewhere, this is the only book about death that will make you laugh. And it was very true. It's about a guy named Greg, and him and his friend Earl befriend this girl named Rachel because she has cancer and she's dying. And it's basically about them and their friendship with her, and how, like, the roller coaster ride that is Greg's life. And it's just great the way he explains it, and it's just a really, really great book. I honestly really loved it. We have Half Bad by Sally Green. I do have a review on this. You can just click this right here to watch it if you want to, so I'm not really going to talk about it a lot because I've already explained it. That was my cat. But this was not what I was expecting either. I had actually not very high expectations. I don't know why, but I did not have very high expectations. They like soar through the roof. I really liked this book. I really liked it. I'm really excited to read the next one. But my list right now is really just stressing me out because it's so many books that I need the sequel for. Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I need to read the sequel. This, I need to read the sequel. I need to finish Talon so I can read it. Oh my god, I'm a mess. I need to read the Air. It's downstairs. I have it. Still need to read it. But you know, it's just a bunch of books I have, and I need the sequels for them, and I'm going crazy because I'm the kind of person, I need to read the book and then the sequel like back to back, or I forget absolutely everything. And I'm going crazy, kind of crazy. Nathan, right? Is it Nathaniel? I think it's Nathan. Nathan. See, I'm already forgetting. Oh my god. Next, I read An Ember in the Ashes by Sabat Tahir. Wow. This book was so good. This gave me so many of those, like, stomach clenching, like, sweat-inducing, like, oh, come on. Like, I was shaking my hands, like, what's gonna happen? Like, good book. It's about a girl named Leia, and basically her family is killed. Her family's killed by the Marshals, which is very normal in this world because the scholars are like treated so poorly by the Marshals. They're basically enslaved by them. They actually are enslaved by them. So her family's killed by the Marshals, and then there is Elias. Different storyline, but you know they interweave. he is in training to be one of the most elite marshals that there is. Actually, basically the most elite marshal that there is. It's about their stories intertwining, and it's so great. Oh my god, and the love triangle is great, and the adventure and the action is great, and the writing is great, and the cover is great, and I love the characters, and it's just a great book. Next, I read My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine. Next, I read My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Wang. I set pretty high standards, I guess. Ooh, it's so hot in here. But it still didn't really live up to them and kind of disappointed me. This is about a girl, and she wants to commit suicide, but she's kind of nervous to do it by herself. So she gets a suicide partner, and it's basically they are supposed to commit suicide together, but they kind of teach each other that they want to live. I read it a few weeks ago, so I don't really remember exactly what I didn't like about it. I think it was the writing. I think it was just the character. Oh, it was just the stuff that happens in it wasn't very realistic. And it kind of just set me off. I didn't really like it. I didn't not like it, I just didn't like it that much. But I didn't hate it. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? I like to be really nice with books, and I feel like I was being really hard on this, but it's just not my favorite. The cover is really pretty, and this is really pretty. On Goodreads, I would give it 2.5, 3 out of 5 stars. And then what I'm currently reading is Talon by Julie Kagawa. I was expecting this to flip. I'm going to finish this today. Like, I have nothing left, so that's why it's in my May wrap up. I've wanted to read this book. Oh my god, I'm so itchy. I wanted to read this book for a really long time, and I finally picked it up. Yay! I set my standards really high for this again, which was just stupid of me because I had never seen a review or anything of it. So they weren't exactly met towards the middle, and I was kind of disappointed. But now I'm getting to the end, and all the action is coming together, and the story's coming together, and it's meeting my standards. So now I'm happy. This is about a world where it's very modern. The world is very modern with society today. Dragons live amongst the humans to hide from the Order of St. George, which is an organization that is set out to kill all the dragons because they want to enslave mankind and everything. It's so scary. And it's about a girl, and she is, you know, in the world for the very first time, hiding as a human, and she falls in love with a human, but she's a dragon. Oh god. And she meets an Order of St. George guy, but he doesn't know she's a dragon, she doesn't know he's from the Order of St. George, so you know what's going to happen here. This book very recently just threw me way off guard, like, whoa. I'm enjoying it, but I'm trying to finish it really fast so I can read The Death Cure, because I know me, and I know that I'll be like, yeah, I'll read both at the same time, but I won't. I'll read The Death Cure, and then this is going to sit in the back of my shelf, just like Rune and Rising did. So no. Finishing it. I feel kind of bad because I am rushing through it, but that's, you know, that's life. That's life. So yeah, this is every book that I read in 2 months. It's not very good. I love how I'm saying that, I'm like struggling to hold them all up. It's not very good for me to read 11 books in 2 months. I can do better, but I didn't do very good. So yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. I haven't been uploading very well lately. I've been doing like once a week. I'm really going to try to upload more often, but yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!